Give me a boom boom. Sit right there, slow, slow. You wanna sit on daddy's lap? Give me little daddy's way. There we go. There we go.
Mark, first question on the right side.
Mark Heiser, Los Angeles Times. Kobe, you talked on the post-game interview about actually feeling the moment, feeling the pressure, something unaccustomed for you.
You know, I was just, I just wanted it so bad. You know, I wanted it so bad, and on top of that, man, I was on E. I was really tired, and you know, the more I tried to push, the more it kept getting away from me, and you know, I'm just glad that my teammates, you know, really got us back in the game, and you know, I was thankful that I was able to make one damn shot at the end of the game and made some free throws, but it was a tough one.
You said it was special beating the Celtics, so you did feel a rivalry.
I'm just lying to you guys. You know, it's when you're in the moment, you have to suppress that, because if you get caught up in the hype of it all, you know, you don't really play your best basketball. But I mean, you guys know what a student I am with the game. I mean, I know every series that the Lakers have played in. I mean, I was a Laker nut. And I know every Celtics series. I know every statistic. So, you know, it meant the world to me as well, but I couldn't focus on that. I had to focus on playing.
Again on the right.
Chris Thomason, AOL Fan House. Kobe, when you were struggling, what did it mean to you? I think it was early in the fourth quarter when the fans kind of started chanting Kobe to help get you going, you know, encourage you. What did that mean?
You know what? I'll be really honest with you, I didn't even hear them. I was so tired, my ears were ringing. I mean, they really were. I mean, it felt like I was like 6 o'clock in the morning out on the track again running. I was just drained.
On another note, you said after the game, I believe, that this was the hardest of the titles that you've won. Just talk about how hard this series was, and was this maybe the most tension-filled, feistiest finals game you've been in?
It was. It was the most physical one. You know, they believed that they could beat us. You know, obviously, you know, what happened in 08, you know, but the physicality of their team, how smart they are, extremely well coached. And, you know, the guys make big shots. I mean, it was tough. They weren't going to beat themselves. We had to beat them.
Jim here on the left.
Jim Hill, Kobe, KCBS TV. Can you speak in terms of what this means to you individually? We know what it means as a team, but what about individually for you?
Just got one more to Shaq. So you can take that to the bank. You know how I am. You guys know how I am. I don't forget anything.
Now, Kobe, now that the season's over and you're being straight with us, what is the condition? What is the condition of your body, and what is the toll of all these games?
I'm old.
Oh, what does it feel like?
It felt good enough to get through the playoffs. You know, I'm obviously going to have to look at the knee and, you know, figure some things out. I can't play a whole entire season the way it is right now, but I have to figure some things out. Same thing with the finger. You know, without the tape, I can't grip a basketball. So, you know, there's some things I have to figure out in the offseason, but it was good enough to get through this one.
Is it a matter of fixing your body, or is it a matter of learning how to play differently as you age?
No, it's just an injury. You know, that's what drove me nuts, and, you know, made this even sweeter is that everybody kept talking about, oh, he's old, he's old, he's old. I was hurt. You can be old all you want, I was hurt. I drained my knee, and all of a sudden I'm reeling off 30-point games like they're 10-point games, and, you know, everybody's saying how young I look. I was hurt.
You are aware that you've played more NBA basketball than, by a long shot, anyone under the age of 32.
You want to start my motivation right now for next season? Don't start with me right now.
Right here left.
Kobe, Ted Sobel, KFWB, local radio. First of all, I don't know if you know, but Shaq said yesterday, if you win today, you're the greatest Laker of them all. I don't know if you heard that.
That's fantastic.
That's a start. It matters a lot to you, doesn't it?
Of course.
Sure. Yeah. What did Fisher say after the third quarter? He looked unbelievably animated in that little get-together in front of the bench.
He's our emotional leader. and our verbal leader. And he just said, guys, we got 12 minutes. 12 minutes to dig down, to get back into this game. Everything that we worked hard for, got 12 minutes to put it together. And we followed suit.
Fitting he came up with that three-pointer late again, too, right? He's unbelievable.
That's D-Fish. That's just who he is, and there's not enough words of praise that I can use to describe him and how I feel about him.
Back right.
Hey, Jonathan Abrams, New York, Kobe. Jonathan Abrams, New York Times. After Game 2, you had Tim and Mike Procopio fly out to Boston. How much of a role, even all playoffs, have they played for you?
Huge. He was my Jack Bauer. He gave me all the edits, all the history and scouting reports and defensive rotations of the Celtics. And he was my eyes and ears. So when I played the game, I'd use all of his scouting reports and all of his information. It was a huge help for me.
And was that was all postseason?
All postseason, particularly this series, because Boston was a huge problem. For me personally, it was a huge problem, and I needed some extra eyes and ears to help me out and help me get through it.
Ken on the right side.
Ken Berger from CBSSports.com. Number 5 is also one away from Michael. And I know one of the things you admired about him was just the way he was able to just...
Elbow! Yes, sir! I love that kid, man. I love that kid.
That was going to be a really poignant question, but...
Sorry, you interrupted your flow.
But I know one of the things you admired about Michael, he just had an innate ability to figure out how to win a game any kind of way he could, whether it's offense, defense, whatever. Where did you dig in the memory banks, in your mind, wherever where did you find that tonight?
Well, I had to do something, so I had to rebound the ball. Rebounding was a big key for us, and it was a big focus for me. And, it's whatever it takes to win the game. You got to do whatever it takes. That's my job. Sometimes shots not going to fall, but you got to figure something out to try to help your team win, and nobody was better at it than MJ.
Speaking of him and number 5, how much does that mean to you, taking one more step toward that mark?
I don't know. It's tough for me to really put that in any kind of context in terms of he and I goes. Because 90% of what I've learned and what I figured out comes from him. So this is not a situation where it's, a me and Shaq rivalry kind of thing, or when it's not the same thing. It's different. It's more of it's a genuine love that I have for him, and what he's done for me is completely different.